My name is She, and I'm an SAT tutor. I have a degree in engineering, and I specialize in teaching math. A lot of my students struggle with time management when taking the SAT, and often I get requests on how I finish the questions so quickly and my thought process through it. Although it might not be obvious, a lot of the SAT problems have a fast and a slow method of solving it. Kind of like in Mario Kart, where you get rewarded for using a boost. In the SAT, you get rewarded with more time if you're able to use the fast method. Today, I'll be showing you how I completed both math sections of the SAT in just under 15 minutes, and I'll take you through my thought process. If you like watching these kinds of videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, so I was just looking at the SAT College Board website, and I heard that tests 1 and 3 are outdated, so I guess we can only do tests 5 to 10 here. Alright, so let's see which one are we going to be doing today. Test number 10. Okay, let's just download that real quick. Alright, here's the math portion. Okay, so here's what I guess. Okay, so let me just get my timer ready and we'll start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So what value of z satisfies this equation? Well, 2z plus 1 equals z, negative z equals to 1, so z is negative 1. Let's look at this one. Okay, so just by thinking in real life, there should be a y-intercept, not a, not c, and the change is about, is it closer to 0.99? Yep, it's closer to 0.99 instead of the other one. This initial payment of 60 and weekly payment of 30. There we go. You should look like this. 60 plus, oh, equals to 300. Yep. Which one is this? 60 plus, oh, there we go, C. Okay, let's look at this graph. Base diameter of 5, base diameter of 2. And what do they want? How much greater is the height of a... Okay, so we have 35 for that one, 14 for that one. Difference is 21. What are all the values of x that satisfy the equation? Well, x minus 1 cannot equal to 0, so x cannot equal to 1. We can cancel that out. And then we also have x squared minus 1 equals to negative 2x plus 2. So x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. X plus 3, x minus 1 equals to 0. X equals to negative 3 or positive 1, which we said couldn't work. So it's going to be A. Let's look at this graph. What is the value of f equals to of f0? There we go, that one, 4. 3x. That's it. Okay, let's look at this. What is the value of 3x? Well, 5x equals to 90, x equals to 18, x, 3x equals to 54. C. Alright, let's look at this. Which of the following is negative slope? So, not B, not A, negative y-intercept, C. What is the value of K? So, oh, shush. Alright, so that would be y at 0, y equals to 12. That's it, y equals to 12. What is the value of cosine E? E is similar to B, and cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse 12 over 13. That's it. There we go, B. Radius of 2, so r squared would be 4. So eliminate C, eliminate D. Center 5, 7. X minus H, that would be 8. In this plane, this graph has two y-intercepts. Alright, so if we factorize x plus 4, x minus 1 plus 1 equals to 0, x equals to negative 4, x equals to negative 1. The distance is 3. No solution, so the y's have to be the same. Negative 6x plus 2y equals to 12. A has to be negative 6 then. What satisfies? So if x is 1, so 2 equals to 1 minus 3, not true. 36, square root 36 is 6. 6 equals to 9 minus 3, that is true. It's going to be B. I only. Did I do that one? Yes, I did. Alright, next section. Okay, so T equals to this. Total shipping cost is 47,000. And then they want it to the, so 5 3000 plus 12F. How many were shipped to the closer location? Alright, my bad. 5C plus 12, 3000. Alright, I'm just going to use K. So 47,000 equals to 5C plus 36,000. 5C equals to 11,000. C equals to 2.2 thousand. So 2200. There we go. It increases by 10%. So basically 1.1, 2 years, we square it, 1.21. What is the solution? Well, 2x plus 1 equals 5, 2x equals 4, x equals 2. And also 2x plus 1 equals negative 5, 2x equals to negative 6, x equals to negative 3. So 2 minus negative 3 is going to be 5. Alright, what is our systems of equation? Well, we can just add them up to this. This is just going to be 1200 plus 1300, 2500. That's it. Let me write it better. Alright. This is going to be u minus t times u minus t times u plus t. So what do we plug in? U minus 2 times 5, 20. Alright, that's it. We can stop here for now because I have to go get my calculator. Alright, so embarrassingly enough, my calculator is dead. So we have to use an online calculator instead. Alright, so anyway, let's just get started. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Pen. 40 feet. Starts at 40 feet. Gains 21 feet per second. That's going to be B. Alright. Flat fee. And then increases up. It's going to be A. Half the popcorn. Stops. Eats. Spill. It's going to be B. Alright. X equals 20 minus 15, 5. 3x will be 15. Alright, let's look at this one. F negative 1. Negative 1 plus 3 over 2 is going to be 2 over 2. 1. Alright, let's look at this one. 2x cubed minus 6x squared. Alright. Anyway, how much more did Ian deposit each week than Jeremy? So Ian increases by 100 every week. Jeremy increases by 50, so that's 50 more. Sampling, proportion of all employees. So which one's biased? The website is biased against age. Income, biased against income. 10 employees for each store versus one of the stores. A is biased against location. It's going to be B. H5 minus H3, 2 to the power of 5 minus 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 5, 32 minus 2 to the power of 3, 8. It's going to be 24. Right, sampling again. He thinks the answer is 23% with an estimation of 4. So that's going to be about 19 to 27%. So not A didn't mention it, not B didn't mention that. And he can't be, this is not sure at all, so it's going to be D. Okay, it's on sale for 40%. Sale price is that. What's the original price? So it's on off discount 40%. Alright, so 60% is equivalent to $18. That means 10% is going to be $3 and 100% is 30. That's it. Okay, we're talking about mean and standard deviation here, so let's find the mean. 21 divided by 6 is going to be 3.5. 21 divided by 6 is going to be 3.5 again. So same mean, and then the standard deviation. A is different. A is wider, so it's going to be bigger. Let's look at this one. Straight to the question. Decrease every 2 weeks. So it has to decrease. A is decreasing. What about B? Is that a decrease? Yep, I guess it is. B is a decrease. C definitely not. It went up. So it's going to be 1 and 2 only. Alright, let's look at this one. Of the following, which is the closest of the ratio? Week 8, all 3 colonies to initial treatment. Alright, so here we have 20, 10, 50, and here we have 80, 65, 55. So 20, 10, 50. It's 80, 65, 55. It's 120 plus 80 is 200. Divided by 40 is 2 is to 5. That's going to be 8. Right circular cone, volume, and we know the height. So 1/3 pi r squared times 2 equals to 24 pi r squared. Strike out the pi's. 24 divided by 2 times 3, 36. R is going to be 6. Alright, let's look at this. Populations equal, and then this much increase, this much decrease, this much. Okay. In 2010, 2015, x, y, so it was 120, and then it increased by 1.2%, that is 144, and they were the same, 144 here, and decreased by 90%, so we should divide by 9 times 10. 44 divided by 9 is 16, oh, there we go, see, last sentence. Answer always given, did not answer never. Did not answer never is going to be 100 minus that, is going to be 68.7. So something over 68.7, always 30.9 over 68.7. 30.9 over 68.7. 144, 144, C. Let's look at this. Radius, isolate for R. Isolate for R. Times 3, divide by 4, pi, cube root, D. Concave down, maximum, it's not A, it's not B, 3A, it's going to be D. Alright, let's look at this. Maximum integer is 84, and then now they have a new number, 86, and what must be 12 greater? 86 to add it by 12, so the range, then obviously it's the range. Let's look at this. Double the number, double, so exponential, increasing exponential. Alright, Clayton uses that much. Alright, uses 100 milliliters. What are we plugging in as 100 x or y? 120%, 20%, 20 y. We're plugging in as y. 0.1 x plus 20 equals to 0.18 x plus 18. So 2 equals to 0.08 x. 2 divided by 0.08, 25. B. Find the equation. Slope is going to be negative a over 2a, which is going to be negative 1/2. So it's not C, it's not D. I plug it in. A plus 0 must equal to a. It's going to be option A. Let's look at this. Increasing slope. Not this, not that. Slope is going to be 10 over 20. It's just going to be B. 1% annual increase. Exponential, the only one that looks at exponential, is going to be D. Solve for x, eliminate y, 1.5y, plus we need to multiply by 3. 4.8x equals to negative 3.9, strike that out, combine 2.4, 6.8, 7.2x equals to negative 3.6, x must equal to negative 1/2. The value, they look the same. 3x plus 2. We'll say this u is u. 2 over 3 times 3u minus 4 equals to 3u. 2u minus 4 equals to 3u minus 4 equals to u. That's it. Concave up. Not A, not B. C. Alright. Okay. X-intercepts. X equals negative 3 or positive k. Negative 3. This is negative 2. Negative 3. That's it. 1.88. Slope. Slope means increase in h for 1L. Increase in h, increase in h, increase. There we go. Alright, what's the measure of dB? This is 90. So greater than 90. What else do we know? CD is what? CD is what? 30, 60, 90. This is 60, this is 150. Alright. Then there's $8 to spend on apples and oranges. Apples cost this, orange cost that. 5 apples is going to cost $6.50 times 3, $3, $23.25. So she has $4.75 left to spend. Divide by 0.75 to see how much we have. 4.75 divided by 0.75. She can buy 6. She can buy 6 oranges. They must all add up to 180. What is B for C? Well, then we subtract A then. This is going to be 146. This is the mean. this is 400 less, that is 900 less, this is 400 more. They cancel out, so this must also be 900 more. So 160 plus 900 would just give us 2500. Relationship, direct. So this is a direct relationship. Find y. So what happened to x? X is multiplied by 2. That means y was also multiplied by 2. The answer is going to be 34. Infinitely many solutions. These two must be exactly the same. A must be 4. 4b equals to 10. B must equal to 2.5. Alright, we're talking about intersections, so equate them to each other first. And then x squared minus 5x plus c is equal to 0. 1 point. Discriminant equals to 0. 25 minus 4c equals to 0. C equals to 25 over 4. Alright, let's look at this. Speed, feet per second. What do we know? 200 miles per hour. 200 to, what's miles? How many miles? Oh, there we go. 5 to 80. But this is still in hours. You've got to divide by 360. So 200 times 5 to 80. Divide by 3600. 293333. 29. Nearest whole number 293. This daylight savings time. And speed is for half a mile, 0.5 equals to 200 t, so t must equal to 0.5 divided by 200. That's not right. Seconds. That's it. Answer is going to be 9. And there we go. That's how you can finish your entire math SAT section in just about under 15 minutes. Alright, so here is the exact same test I just took, but this time I'm going to be showing every step. Okay, so let's just get started. Let's look at the first question. 2z plus 1 equals to z. Well, simple enough. We just solve for z, subtract 2z on both sides. 1 equals to negative z. Flip the signs, z equals to negative 1. That's it. Let's look at question 2. All the options here are linear, and they are given in specifically slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form, the formula is y equals to mx plus b. M typically represents like something per something, so like increase, decrease per something. It's just about change. B is going to be about the initial. So if you look here, initial payment of 60, and the payment, weekly payment change is going to be 30. So 30x plus 60. Answer has to be C. Let's look at question 3. Very similar to question 2. Again, same thing, slope-intercept form, y equals to mx plus b. So if you think realistically, in real life, a post office will always charge you like some amount of money when you mail a package, even if it doesn't hit a certain weight. That is your b. So we know there must be a b. You can already eliminate a and c. And let's figure out the m. So remember, slope is just rise over run, which is basically changing x and changing y. Let's find the rise first. So here we have 16.94 and 21.89. We just got to see how much it increased by. So let's just estimate, since we don't have a calculator. 17, 22. 17 to 22 is an increase by 5. That's your rise. 15 to 10 is an increase of 5. That is your run. Rise over run is going to be 5 over 5, which is going to be 1. So your answer has to be B, because 0.99 is the closest to 1. Let's look at question 4. This one's straightforward enough. They want to find the height when base diameter is 5 and the base diameter is 2. So if you read the question, base diameter is represented by x. So when x is 5, your height is 35. When x is 2, your height is 14. We just have to find the difference. Answer is going to be 21. We have to square root this expression here. So we just square root everything individually. Let's look at 9 first. Square root of 9, 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. Now we do x squared, x. We just get x, because a square root and a square cancel each other out. Let's look at number 6 here. This is a rational expression. So typically when you've got algebraic fractions, the denominator can never equal to 0. So, and the reason is because in algebra we cannot divide by 0 in real life. So x minus 1 cannot equal to 0, because that's our denominator. If we add 1 to both sides, x cannot equal to 1. We can eliminate c. Let's try to get rid of the fractions and solve. So we've got x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 equals to negative 2. To get rid of fractions, we do this thing called cross multiplication. So first of all, negative 2 is not a fraction. Put a 1 underneath it. And now we can cross multiply. So we just do a little cross here. And then we multiply accordingly. So we can try to multiply now. So x squared minus 1 times 1 still remains the same. X squared minus 1. Negative 2 times x minus 1. Negative 2 times x first. Negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1. Positive 2. This is a quadratic equation. You can tell because there's a square, x squared, and there's an x. So typically with quadratic equations, they must all equal to 0. So we have to shift everything so that it equals to 0. To shift negative 2x, you add 2x. So you have to add 2x here. And to shift the positive 2, you subtract 2. So subtract 2. That will give you x squared plus 2x minus 3 equal to 0. Now you can factorize this. So typically if you want to factorize, you have to write out as a, b, and c. In this scenario, they typically look like this: ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So we just compare directly. There is no a is 1, b is 2, c is negative 3. Typically, we find the factors of c. So in this case, it's negative 3. We'll do the negative in a second. Let's look at 3 first. 3 only has one pair of factors, 1 and 3. And since it's negative, we must subtract them. They must subtract to b, which is 2. So in this scenario, we have to figure out, is it 1 minus 3 or 3 minus 2? Since it's positive 2, it's going to be positive 3 minus 1. That's how we would factorize. X minus 1, x plus 3 equals to 0. To solve for x, equate each factor equals to 0. X minus 1 equals to 0, x plus 3 equals to 0, so x will equal to 1, or x equals to negative 3. But remember, we already said x cannot equal to 1. We will eliminate this answer. Answer is just negative 3. Let's look at this one. What is the value of f0? So basically they want to find the value when x is 0 because they replaced x with 0. So you just have to read here. That's going to be 4. Let's look at this one. All the angles here, and all angles on the line, must add up to 180. So that 90 and all these angles must add up to 180. That means these 3 angles must add up to 90 because 90 plus 90 would give us 180. So 5x equals to 90 divided by 5, x equals to 18 times 3, x equals to 54. That's it. Let's look at this one. Now, our answers here are no longer in slope-intercept form. Instead, they are in standard form. And typically in standard form, it looks like this. ax plus by equals to c. So here's a trick you can use to help you identify the equation really quickly. When your m is, so positive m, positive slope, negative slope. When m is positive, regardless, a is always positive. But when m is positive, your b is going to be negative. When m is negative, your b is going to be positive. And just like this, because you can tell this is a negative slope, your answer is not going to be a, it's not going to be b. When your m is positive, when your m is positive, typically you can tell that your slope here is going to, your c, your c is going to be different from, the sign is going to be different from your y-intercept. Whereas if it's a negative slope, it's going to be the same. So in this scenario, your y-intercept is negative 4. That means your c is also going to be negative. Here would be our answer, c. Let's look at this. They want this point, x, y. Basically plug x at 0. But if you take a look, when x is 0, especially for a polynomial, this goes away, because anything times 0 is going to be 0. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 12. We would just get 12. Let's look at number 11. The formula for a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. All you have to do is plug everything in. X minus, and what's h and k? I forgot to mention that, but hk is the center and r is radius. So all you have to do is plug everything in. X minus 5 squared plus y minus k minus 7 squared equals to 2 squared. You actually have to evaluate this. 2 squared is going to be 4. That's why you eliminate c and d first, and then you pick a. Let's look at this one. What is cosine e? So since they say it's similar, Okay, you see the angle E is going to be the same as angle B. So we're going to be looking at angle B. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So you just have to figure out what's the adjacent, what's the hypotenuse. Now, hypotenuse is always the longest side, so in this triangle, 13 is the longest. Now, how do you identify the adjacent and the opposite? Well, it's literally in the name. Opposite is opposite the angle, adjacent, which means next to, is next to the angle. So 12 is next to our angle highlighted here. So our adjacent is 12. So it's going to be 12 over 13. That's it. Let's look at number 13 over here. This has two x-intercepts. What is the distance between the x-intercepts? Again, we have to factorize here. X squared plus 5x plus 4. Remember, compare it to ax squared plus bx plus c. A, b, c. It's going to be 1, 5, 4. We always find the factors of c. In this case, it's 4. 4 is either 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. Since c is positive 4, we are adding. And they must add to b, which is 5. That means it's only 1 plus 4, because 2 plus 2 doesn't equal to 5. And you have to think, is it positive or negative? So it's positive 1, positive 4 equals to positive 5. If it was negative 5, then these would be negative. So just put it in our parentheses. X plus 1, x plus 4. And we just have to solve. So since it's x-intercept, just let each factor equal to 0. X plus 1 equals to 0, x plus 4 equals to 0, x equals to negative 1, x equals to negative 4. The distance between these two on the numbered line are 3 apart. Answer is going to be C. Let's look at this one. The quickest way to solve this question is to plug it in. So when x is 1, you would have square root 4 equals to 1 minus 3. This would give us 2 minus 1 square root 3. Now I know you're wondering, how do you know if it's positive 2 or negative 2? Well, if they wanted negative 2, they would have put a negative sign outside. If they don't put a sign outside, it means they want the positive version. In this case, this is not true because negative 1 minus 3 would be negative 2. 1 is not true. You can really strike out A and C. You just got to check 2 now. So if you plug in x as 9, for x would be 36 equals to 9 minus 3. Square root of 36 is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. This is true. That's why it's only going to be B. Let's look at this one. Here's the trick. If they say no solutions or infinitely many solutions, it means the x and the y coefficients must be exactly the same. So we can't tell if the x coefficients are the same because we don't know what a is. But since it's no solution, we need to make the y's the same. So y, 2y, we need to make y become 2y. We would multiply by 2. That's why negative 6x plus 2y equals to 12. Typically, when it's no solutions, the numbers here, the constants would be different. If it's exactly the same, it means infinitely many. So all I have to do is just compare now. X is the same as negative 6x. It's going to be the same to each other. So A is just going to be negative 6. Alright, let's look at this section. Okay, so if the total shipping cost, so this one's all about knowing how to plug in numbers. Total shipping cost was this much. You have to see what it represents total shipping cost. Total shipping, let me actually use different colors so it's going to be a bit easier to understand. Total shipping cost is this much. Total shipping cost is represented by F. Oh no. Alright, total shipping cost is represented by, let me just highlight this please. Alright, so total shipping cost is represented by T over here. Okay, you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to circle it then. Alright, this is what we know. Total shipping cost is T. So we'll plug that into T. 47,000 equals to, and if you look here, it says that much, 300 was further location, so you got to see. Shipping F units to the further location, we're plugging it into F. So that means we don't know C, so it's likely we have to solve for C. 5C plus 12 F, so 3,000. So if you look at how I did it here, I just replaced it with K because the K represents 1,000. 47,000 equals to 5C plus 12 times 3,000. 12 times 3 is going to be 36,000 here. 5C, 47K. Shift the 36K, you subtract 36K on both sides. 5c equals to 11,000. So c equals to divide by 5. You should get 2.2 thousand. Now actually put it into thousands. So 2,200, like this. Let's look at this one. With absolute equations, you always form two equations. So like x plus 1 equals to positive 5, and the negative version, 2x plus 1 equals to negative 5. So see, positive and negative, and then solve for both. So in this case, 2x plus 1 equals to 5, 2x equals to 4, x equals to 2. And this other one, 2x equals to negative 6, x equals to negative 3. Now you're going to ask me, how do you know, is it 2 minus negative 3 or negative 3 minus 2? Well, the thing is, the absolute sign makes no difference, because one you get positive 5, which is positive 5. The other one you get absolute of negative 5, which also gives you positive 5. So either way, your answer is just going to be 5. Let's look at number 18 here. So he purchased an antique. Okay, so basically this is going to be an exponential equation. So in the first year it was worth 200. And then after 1 year it was 200, because it increased. It's going to be multiplied by 1.1. In the second year it multiplies by another 1.1. So if you compare it directly to 200a, you can kind of tell that a has to be 1.1 times 1.1, and 1.1 times 1.1 is going to be 1.21. Right, let's look at this. What is the value of 5x plus 5y? If you take a look here, this is a trick question. Well, not exactly a trick, but there's a fast way. 2x plus 3x is 5x. 3y plus 2y is 5y. All you have to do is just add them up. So 5x plus 5y equals to, add these up, 2500. That's it. That's our answer. And let's look at question 20. U minus t times u squared minus t squared. So if you look at this, very similar to difference of squares formula. The difference of squares formula is a squared minus b squared must equal to a plus b, a minus b. So if you use that here, u minus t, copy that first one, u squared minus t squared, we're going to replace it with u plus t, u minus t. So we're going to have to multiply all three. U minus t is 2, u plus t is 5, u minus t is 2. Multiply all three together and we will get 20. That's it. That's our answer. So that's the first section done. And that's how I finished the first portion of the Math SAT. If you'd like to watch me solve the second portion, be sure to subscribe so you get notified when my second video comes out in a couple of days.